Hi everybody, my name is Rhys Barber. I'm one of the audiologists here at Audiology Associates.
And my name is Taylor Green, and this is a patient of mine to start with. So came into us hard of hearing. Now you can see where this box has just appeared here, we've got a form of, it's an Otomycosis, I believe. So we've got a form of Aspergillus infection in here. So, and that's very typical of these fungal spores that you can see here. So the only way of describing it really is kind of like a pinhead. So you get these little tiny, how would you describe it?
Almost.
Yeah, strands.
Like,
I couldn't
almost looks like the fibres from cotton wool,
yeah,
but they stand
yeah.
straight with a little tiny bead on the top, like a matchstick.
Yeah, that's a good way. Yeah, I really couldn't think of how to explain that then. Sorry, guys.
So otomycosis is fungal infection of the ear. That's what that means, isn't it? So anything oto is ear related. So otomycosis means fungal ear infection. So
yeah, the reason we believe this is an Aspergillus type of infection is because of those spores. So you said there's a less common form of Otomycosis that we tend to see.
The most common type is Aspergillus, which is this one. I'd say probably 75% of the infections you'll see will probably be Aspergillus infections. The less common is a Candida infection. So Candida basically is thrush. Now we can get that in our nasal passages and mouths and everything else. So it's less common, but you do see it sometimes, and that would present as a much creamier, thicker sort of layer, almost like the skin of a custard is the way I always describe it. I know, sorry. Other foodstuffs are available. But
I love custard.
Me too. But this is thicker layer with this sort of wetter section on top. That's what Candida would normally look like. But Aspergillus is this much drier, like cotton wool strands, little matchsticks. There'll be yellow heads or black heads on the top normally.
Yeah. Now this is coming away very easy actually. I was quite surprised because sometimes these ear infections can be quite tricky to remove. Yeah. But we were lucky in this case because it was just sort of forming and growing on the surface of this wax that's here. So we've got this deeper section that's kind of pressed up against the eardrum here. Now, a little bit of a background with this particular patient. So, not a background, but what we've sort of done afterwards. So I've referred this patient to the general practitioner for some swabs, just to see what it is. Basically, I wanted to get it confirmed, but as of yet, we haven't had any results back from the hospital for this. But
it's really important when we're doing like that sort of otomycosis removal. What we're taking out is the debris you can see. It's not getting rid of the underlying infection. So if we ever come across a patient that's had some form of infection, whether it be like a Titus externa, which is more like a sort of a bacterial infection, or whether they've had otomycosis, we would always refer back to the GP, because here in the UK, audiologists as a class is technical rather than medical, which means that we can suggest what we think is going on inside the ear canal. We're not allowed to officially diagnose or prescribe, so that has to be done by a medical professional, so it has to be done by a GP. So myself and Taylor would write back to the doctor asking them for their medical opinion on this, and then the doctor would prescribe whichever treatment is needed then for that particular condition.
Yeah. So this was really pressed up against the eardrums. I was quite surprised. There was quite a lot in the anterior recess. So we've got the standard. We've stuck with the standard size Zollner tube here just to get a better grip on that larger section of wax that was left on top of the eardrum. It's a bit more unusual
as well, isn't it, to get the sort of fungal infection and have this big sort of plug of wax behind it. Most of the time, the fungal infection, sorry, ambulance going past, the fungal infection will go down and right down over the eardrum. It doesn't tend to have a lot of wax sitting behind it.
Yeah. Now, I did actually follow up with this patient a week later, actually, following this procedure. Now, I do apologize, I haven't put any pictures or videos of it up, but in the space of that week, this ear canal filled up again with these fibrous fungal spores that you could see at the start, and I was quite surprised how quickly it's actually formed. So again, that would be another reason why we are getting this treated with the doctors.
This is a really, it's quite a big plug considering what you've taken away already. This is still a lot left down in there, isn't it?
And I think this is the last piece that we're just removing.
It's staying together really, really nicely as well, this one. So it's quite a nice one to do when it stays together really well like that. You will get these odd bits breaking away as you take it out to the entrance, especially if the entrance is quite narrow like this one is here. The ear canal a lot of the time will be a lot wider sometimes than the canal entrance. So as you're pulling this plug through, especially if it's got little bits in it, it'll break those little bits off.
Yeah.
Well, the eardrum's looking okay. I wouldn't say that's brilliant, but okay, considering
all
what's
right.
been going on in there.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of redness. Yeah, sorry guys, I meant to say we're talking about a few medical terms. I've always referred to this as eardrum because I didn't want to throw too many medical terms in it at the same time. Obviously, this is a tympanic membrane that you can see here. So we're going to start throwing some different terms in now because you've got some of the basics down. So we'll start referring to this as tympanic membrane moving forward, just so you know what's going on there. Fine end here though.
Fine end, just to clear up these last little bits.
Yeah.
Again, because of the infection, I just wanted to get away as much as I could, just so if the patient was prescribed drops or an antibiotic spray, it will work better once everything is cleared up.
This is the second patient now, just to let you know, guys, in the compilation.
Oh yes, it's a different patient.
Different patient, different person. This is actually my patient, this one. So you can see we've got a very sort of long and stretched out ear canal. So instead of being this round shape, it's more this sort of very oval shape here. So we've got very narrow space to work in. I can only just about get this standard size sonotube into this ear canal. So we've got this very dry, long piece of wax you can see in here as well. Guys, don't forget, if you do enjoy these videos, then please subscribe, follow, like. How's your heart? Hey. You can see we rehearsed that obviously when we came in. That's not a heart. I don't know what that is. That's not a heart. But yeah, if you don't mind doing all those things. They're going to stop us from doing these together. Mrs. B's going to come down hard, I'm telling you. So we're going to I've lost my train of thought completely now, Taylor. I don't know what we're talking about. That's all right. I've had to switch down to the fine end now to get into this deeper section here. You can see it's coming away really...
Starting to loosen up nicely, actually.
Yeah, you've just got that little bit of a wiggle going on now. It's got it moving.
Walking it out of the ear.
Walking it out, yeah, out it comes. So it's just coming around that outside edge. There we go. You can see it's dry, it's long, it's thin, this piece of wax. Very different colours from front to back as well. So that older wax is a little bit darker. You can really see how narrow that canal is there. So just tidying up this outside edge. Lots of little cilia up there as well.
Yeah, obviously everyone has cilia in the ear. Some are more dense and longer than others, and they do become quite troublesome for us in some occasions because they can obstruct our view.
A little bit.
It's only at the entrance, so the cilia is only at the entrance of the ear, but a lot of this wax is sometimes quite close to the entrance, so we have to get a lot closer to the wax, you know, for us to see what we're doing, basically.
It's usually more of a problem if not so much if the ear canals are round, because they sit all the way around the outside edge, so they don't quite meet each other in the middle. But if you've got a very narrow canal, then it's going to bring these cilia over the top of one another a little bit more like this. So it's more like a sort of a denser forest. But they're so fine. We're talking these hairs. You know the sort of peach fuzz you can get on your skin when you're younger. Younger than me, you'll probably remember. But it's that really fine, downy hair. That's the words I'm looking for. That's a really fine, downy hair that you get. You know, babies get it. That's the kind of hairs we're talking about on the entrance canal. Obviously, we've magnified this up with the endoscope, so they look like thick pieces of rope, but they're really, really fine, little tiny hairs. That's why people say, why don't you trim the cilia? They're so small, you probably have difficulty trimming those. They're thicker, coarser hairs that as we get older, I do, just on the outer part of the ear there.
I've started getting them.
It's all downhill from here, Taylor, that's it. They sort of, you can trim those if you want to. Or I know some audiologists, they hold it with forceps and yank them out. They rip them out.
Be quite uncomfortable.
It should be very pleasant, I don't think. So we just cleared that ear canal. There we go. We've just got a little bit down near the eardrum. I'm just going to grab that last little section. This is the fine end here. There we go.
Just jumped up at the...
Looks a little bit wet.
It's always a nice sight when that happens.
Yeah.
So there's nothing worse than when it's quite soft and wet.
When
and
it's down in that recess,
Yeah.
and you're just basically just scraping the top layer off all the time. Oh my goodness! But when they got that lovely jump up to the suction, that's always nice, quite satisfying to do that one. So just tidying up the outside edge here, you can see eardrum looks very, very different on these this particular patient. You can see there's a lot of sort of greying there, a little bit more difficult to point out. I said eardrum again, tympanic membrane, sorry guys, I'm sorry to say the eardrum to you guys. But you could really struggle to make out that sort of handle the malleus, I'm sorry, on that one as well.
Quite a long piece, that one in the middle.
There were some chunky ones in there, yeah. So what's that in inches? 1.5 inches, I'm going to say, I think, looking at that.
Oh yeah, we got 3.5 centimeters.
Some big chunky pieces in there. Look how dark those pieces are as well. They've been in there a long time.
Been there a while.
Well, guys, thank you so much for watching our video today. If you did enjoy the video, or mine and Taylor's banter halfway through, then please like, subscribe, follow, heart, thumbs up. Have I missed one? I think that's all in there. I think that's everything. That would be absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much. And as always, guys, take care of yourselves.
Take care of your ears.
And take care of one another.
And we'll see you guys soon.